So I shall begin today's video with the official hashtag Joyant, the official hashtag Jubilant, the official hashtag Bearish. That's right, you better sell before your portfolio goes to hell. We're going to be talking about that because we've been talking about that and we were prepared. That's what I want to ask you. Were you prepared? Because if you're not, I need you to do me a favor. Go down into the description box, like right now. Click on the link and join the private community because we rehearsed both long and both short. We've only had 6 losing trades all year. If you guys are really serious about making money, and this is prime stuff too. Bear markets are amazing markets to make money. And I know you came to this video to seek fortune. And that's my job, is to try my very best to live up to your expectation and deliver you the fortune and knowledge you need to become successful. So anyway, make sure you click on that link and join me. Now let's talk about this. We talked 2 things yesterday in the video. One was rehearsing a scenario to the upside. I didn't want to rule out a potential squeeze. However, I did say I didn't think that was going to happen and we needed to be focused on selling. And if you don't believe me, here it is. Here's my ugly mug. Yesterday's video. There you go. Short-lived is just one day. So again, guys, all kidding aside, I'm just here to share my experience with you, just here to help you, just to give you a non-biased, clean view every day of the markets so you can make qualified trading decisions. Because if there's one thing that hurts us, it's our belief that something has to happen in markets, and it doesn't. I mean, we were prepared if something was to go higher, but really I felt we needed to be short, and that's how we positioned ourselves. Now, there is something I've noticed, a little nuance here happening in the markets. And the reason that I felt this today is because every time we've had a close recently over the last couple of months, we've seen a pattern emerge over and over again, and I want to share that with you. The pattern is we sort of kind of grind up a little bit or start to gap up a little bit in the overnight European session. So I'm going to open up this 5-minute chart to show you what I'm talking about. And you can go back and look at several of these strong closing days. And this is only when the market closes strong and has these parabolic rallies. It seems like the market tries to grind and tries to break through those highs. And sometimes it does slightly. But that happens in the Euro session. And then after that, before a pre-market, once we get started here in America, it just becomes a sell-a-thon. It did this the other day. It's done this quite a few times. So pay attention to that pattern. Any strong close in this market at any time is not a buy, especially overnight. You should wait at least until the morning to see if it settles. Now, I want to say something about this and why I mentioned the sell before your portfolio goes to hell. This is a worst case scenario situation. And I want to tell you why. I want to put technicals first, and I want to put common sense in thinking, even though the markets don't operate on common sense. This market's been bearish, and we all know that. It's done its very best to barely, and I mean barely, fight off the lows of this 4130. We've been speaking about this for months. We've been just kind of leaning down in this ever since February. So this is not something that happens. This whole corrective territory has been February all the way up to now. We've been working in this 4100 spot to 4130. That's the range that we were looking at for the line in the sand moving forward. Now we've already experienced a 14% correction here in the S&P. Yesterday was sort of that baton passing to the bulls. After all that we have gone through, knowing that the rate increase was coming, pricing in this rate increase, rallying so strongly off of that announcement, this market needed to rally today. The worst thing that could happen is that you gave all of the rally back. Now, I would be willing to make a sacrifice and say it would be okay if you gave 10% of this rally back. Like, I'm not 10% in a sell-off today, but just maybe 10% of this previous candle, 20 maybe maximum, no more than 50%. That's too big of a wipeout. That's too big of an emotional crusher because there's a lot of people that bought into that. There's a lot of people that thought the bottom was in. They got long. Now you cheesed. And this happens in trading. I even drew the pattern here. It was already on the chart what I thought it might go up and then pull back. I didn't think it would last even if we did have a rally. But nonetheless, this is bad. And if we close down here, we've got 30 minutes. I don't think it really makes a difference. This is a terrible spot. Moving forward, I don't see any reason for this market to rally. Let's think about that. What is it going to take? Most of the big names have already printed up their earnings. I mean, Shopify, another one yesterday, just destroyed. They've already had earnings. Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, everybody's had earnings. So there's nobody left to save this market. Fed's already played their hand here. No one to save this market. It's going to take something short of a miracle to stop this thing from selling. We should be prepared to look at lower prices. Now, again, I'm going to say what I said yesterday. Don't rule out a squeeze. We can instantly rally back up there tomorrow. I mean, I've seen crazier stuff. I don't want to say that this is definitely going to happen. But I feel this is something that needs to be prepared for, because we're probably going to move down and challenge this 40.63 that we were at on Monday. We're going to end up testing the week's lows here. Maybe the market can throw in one last hold there. If not, I think we're going to start looking at the low fours going back into last May here a year ago into those levels. That's where we are. But really, to me, what stands out, like I said yesterday, the problem was there isn't a catalyst left. Now, maybe the one will emerge and things can change at any time in the market, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look like that's the case. The next move I feel in this sequence of moves is we need another bottom. This one we're looking at doesn't feel like the bottom. It still is. Technically, it's still holding the bottom, but this is not the bottom, I don't think. So not very good. The S&P, not good. I'm showing you that. Qs, even worse. They're way. I mean, it's just a disaster all the way around. And the thing is, you don't know how long it's going to last. So, is there? What's the trade? Let's talk about making money here, because we all can see what's going to happen. We see it. Okay. I still think everything is a sell the rally. If you have something, you make some money, sell it, or short the rally. I'm going to go with my favorite basket of short selling stocks, and one of these is Docu. I like this one here as a short and continuing to be a short sub 60. Two of my favorite are Docu and ZM, and the reason I feel so passionately about those short and have been maintaining some shorts on those for the last 6 months is I never thought they should have been anywhere where they were in the 300s and 400s. They were totally benefactors of the COVID lockdowns, and the longer we go with no COVID, the lower these go. There's a ton of competition in this space. They're not the only names there. Their revenues aren't that great. They're nothing special, and they certainly shouldn't have been trading that much on forward earnings in the 300s and 400s. I think they go back to the 50s and maybe even the 20s. I also like Roku. This is another good one here. I think this recent spike is a very good opportunity to short. I like this one here. And let me make something clear about these shorts. I wouldn't just wake up tomorrow and start shorting either, because you can't underestimate the power of a quick rally. I mean, you could rally off the bottom 100 points and then sell off later in the afternoon. I recently had a trade in Crowd where I shorted it, and it squeezed me for $14 and took a loss on that one. And then the thing came back down the next day for 17, and it's been going down ever since. So that one day is enough to shake you out. So you have to prepare for this just real quickly on the side. Keep your position sizes small. Prepare for these squeezes. Prepare for these pushes, because they can be violent, and the movement in both directions could be violent, especially if you're an active trader. Some of the smaller names that I like, I want to move to some small caps. I'm going to go through my list of favorites to short, as I love Fubo. Any opportunity to get, they actually got earnings. I didn't even realize that. Love to short this one. I love Tiger. I like this DMTK. I'm just running through these. I think they're all shorts on a bounce. These things were once, I mean, look at this, DMTK 48. It's down here's a penny stock. It's going to go to zero, where the whole thing came from. And some of these are still correcting from 2021 in February, right? They're on a binger. This thing was from last year. I like these. Now, we had some fresh names today. And I want to go looking at this BTTX if it doesn't get too much. I'm liking this one here as a potential short, but there could still be another squeeze in this one. And of course, this CYN on a bounce. But let me let me just clear this up before I wrap it up today. I want to give you guys a little bit more direction. Don't trust any rally in this market. If you're one of those traders that are still buying into buy the dip, the BTFD, don't be silly. And even if it does, there's going to be more testing of a bottom that's needed to really firm that up. So maybe we are at a bottom. Maybe the next days it tightens up down here and we see more defense. And I would change my mind about what I said. But be careful of any rally. Whatever you do, don't chase any rally. On the same token, whatever you do, don't chase any short, because the snapback, especially early on when enthusiasm is at its highest, it could be bad. It could really get squeezed. You could ultimately end up being right. So those that work with me on a regular basis, the checkmark students, the idea execution management theme, you know what we're talking about here and how that works. You can be right on the idea, but your timing could be off and you can end up losing money. And that's not what we want to do. So keep these in mind. Again, if you guys need help, make sure you come by, visit me there at the private trading community. I will show you the light. I will show you how to make money, because it's important that you understand this. These are the best markets to make money in. While others are very confused, getting chopped up, one up and one down, we know where we're going. And we know where we're going every day. And I'd love to show you. So anyway, I'm going to check out here. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you have any comments, suggestions, curmudgeoning, whatever, I don't care, send it my way. Thanks for joining me. Hope you made it till the end. Take care. Trade well. I'll talk to you guys soon.